Hello, today I have a presentation. Firstly, I want to speak about Ülviye Tahir. Ülviye Tahir Mustafayeva has been engaged in creative work from an early age, and since 2009 she has introduced literature into her life as a serious profession. She is currently the author of about 150 stories, research articles, and translated books. At first glance, the name Aljir and the number 1937 caught my attention when I see the book. I started reading the novel without wasting time. Honestly, I don't know what to say about the novel. There is so much to talk about, but I need to start from somewhere. First of all, I would like to talk about the title of the novel. Aljir is an abbreviation in Russian. It means the camp where the wives of traitors are kept, Akmola. The events in the novel take place between 1937 and 53. The events begin with the arrest of intellectuals branded under the name of traitors, and it continues with horrible moments in the plotline. Black cars, which visit warm houses at night, also bring the cold of winter with them. Families break up. Women are sent into exile. Men are sentenced to be shot. And children are forcibly taken from their mothers to be raised by Soviet ideology, just like Gasimov's Leave It in the Family. War always brings death and misery. Most women and children suffer from war. The year 1937, the period of repression, is one of the saddest and most horrific pages of our history. When I say repression, I mean Hüseyin Javid, Mikhail Mishvik, Ahmed Javad, and many other intellectuals. Yes, consider that the majority of victims of repression are intellectuals. The Soviet government wanted to destroy the country's intelligentsia, because Stalin knew very well that in order to destroy a country, it is necessary to start with its intellectuals. Stalin's policy didn't lag behind Hitler's atrocities against the Jews. Can a system based on the blood of thousands of innocent people speak of prosperity and progress? You believe that you are the happiest person in the world, and you try to do the best for society by following this belief. And one night, there's a knock on the door. You are taken out of your warm house for no reason, and you are sent to prison. In this novel, that terrible night begins. In the novel, the journalist finds a picture of his grandfather and a piece of newspaper, and he finds Parvana with the inscription on the back of the picture, and begins to write memories about Akmola. Parvana's fathers, Farhat and Firuza, are the victims of 1937. One night, there was a knock on the door, and Farhat realized that the man in front of him was Vakil, his long-sought friend, and helped him. When the Vakil wanted to get better and leave, he asked Gulnara, the woman he had been in love with for years, to come with him. But Gulnara said said she couldn't betray the state. Do you know what happened after that? After that, Farhad was arrested in an innocent place, and then Gulnara and Firuza were taken to the Akmola camp. Parvana was taken from her mother and, like other children, was brought up according to Soviet ideology. One night, there will be a A knock on the door, and people in black will come and arrest you without any guilt. I can't imagine Farhad's feelings at that moment. Let him see that he will never be able to see his family again, or that he will not be able to overcome the fear in the eyes of the Firuze and Parvana. And so the hard days begin. One of the things that impressed me the most in the book was Farhad's first conversation with God. Today I feel the last day. Maybe won't be in a few hours. I have a request from you. As a friend, as a comrade. I ask you, the fairest communist in the world, protect Firuze and Parvana. Don't let Firuze's passions run the interest you. And here the door opened, and they called Farhad 705. How easy it was to end a person's life. So it is Stalin's wagon. This wagon is called Stalin's wagon. The women were brought to Algiers by this wagon. The weather was so cold that women froze to death, and their lifeless bodies were buried by women like Gulnare. Every time Gulnare dug a grave, she was aware that she was burying a pinch of femininity, softness, and compassion in these graves. And here, and here was the Aljir inscription. Time seemed to stand still here. Life had lost its flow. Firuze, separated from her dead daughter, lost her desire to live. Her only support was Gulnare. Parvana often wrote him letters until the last letter. We want our great leader Stalin to correct our parents. Yes, let him correct it. I'm a little embarrassed there, but the teacher tells not be ashamed. Mom, why did you want to overthrow our state? Why have you been so hostile to our leader? She was already ashamed of her parents. As the days passed, Gulnare and Firuze got used to this situation. And then Firuze was pregnant. Her sentence affected me so much that she said, I became a mother today, but I forgot. I forgot who repaid me last or for the first time. How painful it was for a woman. Don't be happy to be a mother. There was a point in the book that I didn't know how to feel at the moment. A ruthless woman's dungeon in the steppes of Kazakhstan and composition female inhabitants of the same steppes. Gurut, the symbol of woman's unity, thrown across the barbed wire, which woman in the dungeon consider a stone. In the historical novel, the points that influenced me were the elimination of those who faithfully served the regime and the torture of them. Ulviye Tahir made it very clear about the psychological state of the traitors who thought that there was something wrong in this case, even when they were tortured. Another nuance was the skin of children taken from their mothers and raised in the Soviet spirit, who hated their parents, who learned the truth in 1953 and were shocked. The author's last sentence really put an end to the novel. The truth was so horrible that I couldn't overcome it. Vivier wrote a roman that we will not leave the influence of, we will remember for days. I didn't tell you about Aljir. I told you what I feel when read, and you read Aljir yourself. It is true that human is not condemned to live in the past, but obliged to know his past. This book is also the saddest page of our history. Therefore, read and teach. Thanks for watching.